Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Astrology Circle podcast. I'm Samantha Hammer, and I'm joined with James Pipitone, my co-host.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing today?
Good, good, doing great.
Good. We are excited to be here. We're excited to talk about the benefics to bookend our malefics episode that we just did last week. And I think we're going to start with Venus. How does that sound, Mr. Venus and Taurus?
Sounds good to me. Where's your Venus again?
Virgo,
Virgo, Virgo, right, right,
along with Jupiter,
Virgo,
too.
right.
So
Awesome.
I don't know if I'm the one to speak on these things, but no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, mine's in the
But
sixth, so it's not the brightest Venus imaginable.
it's still in Taurus. But yeah, I mean, and you get to work with me. I'm just kidding, which is great.
True, that's a good point. That's think of
I'm
it.
just
And you get to
kidding.
work with, well, no, I was gonna say, I'm
You're a
so
joy to work with. I feel like that's a
good.
great, like, just really basic delineation of that placement. You are a very nice person to work with. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels like that.
Oh, that's such a sweet Venusian thing for you to say. How nice of you.
Shout out to Spear and Sundry Jupiter. I'm sorry, Venus and Taurus soil.
Well, I need that Jupiter, so definitely ready for that.
Spear and Sundry sponsor us, please. Anyway,
So Venus, the planet of relationships, love, sensual enjoyment. You said something one time, I don't know how you phrased it, but about Venus in Libra. Do you want to talk about Venus in Libra, and then I'll talk about Venus in Taurus?
sure. I don't know what you're referring to exactly, but I would go ahead and say, like Venus in Libra is going to be the more social side of Libra. It's the party goer. It's the um person that puts, the food, what is that? The food curator, just curation overall, not just food. Food is a big part of, you know, Venus, but it can go with colors, branding, the socializing of like putting people together. And yeah, it's like the daytime, like the masculine side of Venus is that go getter energy of Venus, just out in the world, socializing, looking pretty, having fun.
hmm Yeah, I need a little bit more of that with my Venus and Taurus. All I really do is, well, lately, I should say, as I step into myself, been making slow cooked meats, anything that's like takes some time to really like perfect with lots of different complexities of flavor, different textures. Even last night, I was talking to my girlfriend, my fiance, I should say, and I was like, I'm starting to like love textures like more, just like appreciate the feeling of things, and just like sand and certain types of pillows or like linen, skin, the textured
Luxury.
drinks, yeah, anything that just can give me some type of like human sensation. I just really like it not only does it ground me really well, it's the only thing that I think properly grounds me is my Venus
Yeah.
and Taurus, but that experience of just being able to be immersed in the present moment with Taurus. I always love Taurus as like the epitome sign of what it's like to just step into reality and that experience of being able to immerse yourself in the world, that ability to experience that experience. To me, I know I'm reflecting a bit with the Venus and Taurus that I have, but it is a very Venusian experience being able to just quiet the mind, step into the body, look around, feel the warmth from the sun, feel the cool from the breeze. And that whole experience, the ability for it to provide a sense of sensation and thus enjoyment of what it feels like to be grounded and peaceful is inherently Venusian, which speaks to the planet itself, no matter where it is in the zodiac, of how you can extrapolate those things or how easy or difficult it is for you to do those things from the Taurus perspective.
No, absolutely. So I always think of Venus and Taurus, Venus in Libra as the archetypal ability to retain um, social or material, excellence or luxury of some kind. But wherever that's the archetype, right? But then wherever Venus lands in your chart, whatever sign, it'll just have its own flavoring of whatever that retention or retainment is. And yeah, that was a beautiful description of Venus and Taurus. I got like a sensory vibe from that as I would. But yeah, the learned organic or like the awareness of organic material that surrounds you and like makes you happy. It's very Taurus,
Yeah.
Venus.
And the Libra aspect of Venus, if we were to like echo that same experience, but from a different angle of what it's like to feel connected and feel, like a sense of justice. I think that's what we were talking about was
Mm,
the sense of justice that Libra brings and how the feeling of doing the right thing and the experience of when things are justifiably just inherently right to what this experience is, that sensation that we're able to experience is Venusian, as well as meeting a new person, connecting, feeling seen from the other person, which is why Librans are usually pretty social. I mean, every Libra
mm,
that I've interacted with,
yeah.
they just, you know, sometimes
That,
they just want to connect. They don't even really care what they're connecting about.
so true. I always say, my Libra friends like become alive when they're in that social setting and like out in the world, making connections. Like, obviously, that comes into like play with like Mercury and stuff too, but they're looking and in search for right relationship, and they're just fun. They're Venus ruled sign. Love my Libras.
Yeah, it's also
Discernment. Yeah.
Libra is also the sign of the sun's fallen,
Hmm.
which I didn't quite understand, but I experienced plenty in the past up until, I started getting into astrology years ago. And it makes complete sense because this is like the experience of being connected with people can feel so immersive and pleasurable that we lose ourselves completely and we start playing the mold game just to feel seen, which is
Yeah.
part of that Venusian experience. Like, why would the son of the spirit want to be seen so much or be enjoyed to just like try and do anything to be seen? It has to bring some type of pleasurable experience to them. Otherwise, why would they do it? Because you're not going to do something that you hate in theory.
Totally. I feel like there's almost like a in like general, people who don't really know astrology that well, there's like this tendency to see people go, oh, like Libras are just people pleasers. And it's like, or like any Venus sign really. I'm sorry, not any Venus sign, but Taurus or Libra. They have this tendency to kind of get like shame in that regard. And I think it's like they just are so speaking from for Libra, a little contrary because they are so willing to learn and willing to see what the other person is interested in. That identity, and I think that's why the sun has its fall there, can get wrapped up in the other a little bit more frequently, to at least, to the viewpoint of others on the outside.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And it's also like we could look at it from that same perspective with Taurus,
Mm.
where Taurus people just love to be right. So it's like if they have a sense of justification in the knowingness and what that brings to the sensory experience of just like the ego, obviously, totally separate conversation. But if that is able to bring that experience of just the rightness of the now, I would argue that is as well a Venusian experience because what do you gain from being right? A sense of justice, a sense of
Hmm.
tude in your presence,
Satisfaction.
satisfaction. Yeah. Which, whether or not that's um, applicable on a greater sense of goodness, that isn't really the conversation. But as far as the Venusian topics go, I think it's pretty relevant.
And I would even go ahead and say, like, we're talking about the Libra having its fall. I'm sorry, the sun having its fall in Libra, but then the moon does have its exaltation in Taurus. So that might be even more of what that stems from, that like lunacy side of things more than egoic.
It's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I've had some youth battles with some strong Taurus people, so I'll leave it there. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it
forces
there.
to be absolutely not reckoned with. Don't
And
even
funny enough,
bother.
actually, with some Librans, the two main archetypal battles I've had in my life of my arc of whatever when I was younger have been with Librans and with Taurus people. That doesn't mean I don't have, that doesn't mean anything negative. It's just I've learned a lot from them.
They're the
So,
best. They like if you can find one that'll stick by you, like no matter what, they're solid friends. They are so willing to just like forget about the argument because they're already moving on. At least maybe more of the Libra side of things. The Taurus, I actually like, yeah, no. Yeah, the Taurus, I love you guys. You're my other fixed sign, prince and kings and queens.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love them too.
Yeah. But
Love them.
yeah, so Venus overall, though, archetypally, whatever sign, this energy is going to bring like balance and unity for better or for worse.
Hmm. I
Beauty,
really,
comfort. Sorry, you please.
that's okay. Yeah, I was gonna talk about how Venus in Scorpio gives a really good perspective of what it's like to lose what you have and then have more appreciation for what, or more awareness of what you really want Venusian wise when you have Venus in Scorpio or when you're experiencing Venus in Scorpio. This like experience of like not having the stability in your life or not feeling the connectiveness with others with when it's in Aries and that sensation that you have of I want anything that you feel as though you want to obtain is inherently a part of the experience that you're in. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're in a strong Venus sign like Libra or Taurus, you might take for granted the qualities that you're in. So for me, for example, Venus in Taurus, I didn't realize till my later years what I actually enjoy. It took me a while to actually become aware of those things. Whereas someone that I know, say with Venus in Scorpio, they spent their whole life trying to feel stable in whatever area of their life it might be. Or Venus and Aries people, opposite of Libra, they spend a lot of time chasing connection with others, which speaks to the feeling of it being I wouldn't say negative placement. What would be like a good term to describe it?
Well, you're speaking to the it's in detriment. If Venus is
Right.
in a Mars ruled sign, she's in detriment, but there's a weakness there. And then when you add on the Mars significations of the signs, so there's like a discomfort, maybe there's a it's just more complicated of a placement. And so there is either searching or yearning or frustration, arguing in the sphere of Venus things, as opposed to the comfort and natural ability that Venus functions with in, its domicile places, I
Right.
think. So,
When you're
but
able,
just, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So, so yeah,
Sorry.
just to round out full circle what I was saying, um, the when you look at your birth chart and you're looking like, oh, I have Venus in whatever, whatever sign it might be in, the the thing that I emphasize with my own charts and when I do readings for people is try not to so much focus on the fallen qualities of what is bringing onto you, meaning, oh, I have Venus in detriment or oh, I have Venus in
Mhm.
fall, like woe is me. It just represents the life experience that you're here to experience, and that's part of your life journey. And that's just what, whatever your belief system is, it's what is given to you to then manage and deal with. So as astrologers, Sam and I and others obviously could look at your Venus sign and say, let's say your Venus in Aries, they're going to struggle in comparison in love life in comparison to someone who has Venus in Taurus. Very
Mhm.
simple delineation,
Mhm.
but it's important to, not have like a woe is me mentality, which is very easy with Venus. When you start connecting to that energy, you start feeling sorry for yourself or you feel just not generally not good, which I just want to make sure I'm not conveying and that we're able to just give a good representation that no matter where your Venus sign is, you have the capacity to still feel good. It's just a matter of how you're getting there and how difficult it might be to get there.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said, and such an important point. It's just the way you relate is going to be different and it's going to reflect whatever sign it's in for better or for worse. And I think it's really good to be aware of like even if you don't like Venus stuff, if you're I don't like art, I don't paint, name all the Venus things, that is a reflection of the condition of your Venus in that in whatever it is in your chart. And yeah, you can't escape it.
Well said. That's a good point.
So yeah, no woe is me here at all. I love Venus. Venus and Jupiter both are going to be blessings in the chart. You know, Venus is going to be more of this world. Jupiter is going to be more, you know, existential and philosophical. But we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, Venus is sort of like your inner, like your reality experience, and
Hmm.
Jupiter is more like your, philosophical or outer. Exactly what you said. I didn't really think of that. I completely forgot about that point, but that's such a great point. It's like, what is it that Venus brings to the table? It's connection with people and it's eating really good food. What does Jupiter bring to the
Yeah.
table? It's like faith and trust in the unknown, and it's imagining the possibilities that it could, what you could bring to us. So it's all just like, yeah, well, yeah, I like
Yeah.
that a lot.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But like Jupiter being the belief and sentiment and like, yeah, faith. Yeah. I love what you just did a good job too. Anyway, I love but this is such a different conversation than our last like malefic,
Mhm.
you know.
Could you actually talk about a little bit about how we can sort of look at Venus from a transit perspective, very basic, on sort of how these two planets could offer us protection or a level of goodness and how we could represent that in our lives to some capacity. Like, for example, if we're receiving a wonderful conjunction with Venus and it's like hitting our sun, for example, or whatever it might be, like what could people expect to feel from a Venusian point of view? Obviously, the sign matters in the house, but just like on a general basis.
Yeah, I mean, just to go with that, the Venus hitting, you know, your natal sun, go ahead and expect like your um kind of like your identity and your ego to just get a little boost, right? It's Venus. She's like, hey, adding some beauty and grace maybe to who you identify as or how people see you. Um, Depending on the house, I have sun in the first. I always like, will like, if I can like do so, like go get my hair done, stuff like that, you know, get a little refresh to the physical. Your wardrobe, you know, you might just get more compliments, even people might see you in a light that is a little bit more like complimentary and stuff like that. Yeah, you just might enjoy Venus things more.
I had a little fun transit a couple weeks ago when I got a haircut because I'm just like playing around with the moon, trying to see like
Yeah,
like, what can I get, whatever. And the moon was trining Venus, and I was like, all right, this got to be like a good
yeah.
situation. But it was really strange because it was I forget what exactly it was, but basically it wound up being that like I didn't like it. I didn't like the experience of getting a haircut. I didn't like anything about it, but then the end result still wound up being good. Like the whole
Hmm.
experience was bad, which that inherent quality of like you're still gonna look good, it's still gonna work
Yeah,
out. It's like, but depending on the other conditions, it might not get there, but it might not get there in the way you expected, but Venus will still do its job to like, get the right
was
angle.
Venus in Libra at this point?
No, I think Venus was well, so the moon was
Oh, it was
trying
your
our
natal Venus.
natal,
Yeah,
my natal Venus.
yeah.
Yeah. It was
Sorry.
in Capricorn at the time. And I think Venus had to have been in Virgo, actually, at the
So did you get like a mullet type of vibe
no,
of a
but
cut?
I
No.
told the guy like don't cut this and this. He did it anyway. We got in like a little skiff, a little argument. And I kind of like read the chart earlier. I was like, what am I gonna argue about? Of course, he fucks my hair up. And then I look in the mirror after I show my fiance. She's like, no, you look good. I was like, all right, all right, all right, all right. As long as you think so.
Her opinion's the only one that matters, so you're fine.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But yeah, Venus transits are really fun just to share. Like a very simple one. I had a Venus return when Venus was in Virgo. My husband and I both have Venus in Virgo. We got to like, and I have it in the second house, and he has it in the first. We like went out of town. It was just like a short trip to Las Vegas, and we won money in Vegas. Boom, boom, boom. Very simple, very awesome.
What was in the third at the time?
I'm not sure. I don't. think
So that'd
anything.
be Libra. Nothing
It'd be
Libra.
Libra. Yeah, I don't think
I guess it
so.
would I still activate the third, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And
Short
his
trip.
second, and his second.
Mm,
So
cool.
yeah. Short trip to Las Vegas, like 4 hours, definitely like a perfect third house like trip. But then the moon was in Pisces too. So that was
Nice,
lovely.
nice. So
We
Venus
welcome that.
also obviously, in your case, like you brought up, represents relationships.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
if you're looking at your chart and you're looking at the seventh house, you're missing kind of half the story. Maybe not all the
Yeah.
story, whatever. But if you want to look at how, a lot of times astrologers get the question of like, you know,
Oh, it's like
when
the
what,
number one
yeah,
question.
when am I gonna have, when am I gonna meet the love of my life? When's the love of my life going to accept me? When's like my life?
Will I have a love of my life? When will I be married? Love is number one in most,
Yeah. What you could
astrologers'
do is
experience.
take your Venus sign, Google what it is and what sign it is, or you can hire a astrologer to give you a deep dive reading and
Links down below.
links below. And you can just get like a basic overview of what Venus will look like for your love life. I don't know why, but it keeps coming up. Do you just want to do Venus in the signs instead of the houses?
Sure, let's do it.
I don't know why. In the beginning, I was kind of like, it like just hit me. If you want to do that, that'd be
Yeah,
kind of fun. Switch it up a little, I guess.
totally.
So yeah, if you're looking about your love life,
Yeah.
no, well, let's stick to the houses.
Okay. Yeah, I
I
was
don't
gonna
want,
say the only reason I think maybe we should is because of just the last time we in the Malefics one we do houses, so people are
mm.
interested on what that is like for the good planets. That might be fair
For the
to give
listeners, this is the
people.
difference between a Venus and Virgo wanting to stick to what we're doing, and then a Venus and Taurus who's kind of like, all right, this is what I'm feeling right now.
Let's just go with
Now,
it.
I'll go with
Me
the
all like,
Venus
yeah,
completely.
sure. I do
Yeah.
it. I do it. No.
Is there anything else that we want to say about Venus in general?
I think like Venus is just one of those archetypal, like everybody kind of gets it. She's the goddess of love, like unity, balance, beauty, etc.
Mm. Let
We're
me close
good,
the
I
circle
think.
because I do it. I want to stop closing the circle fully. I want to stop not closing the circle fully. Venus in relationships. I didn't really say anything about it.
Okay.
Just the idea is that Venus loves connection. Venus loves feeling good. And if you put those things together, you want to find people that you can connect with and feel good with. So that's really how you get that archetypal relationship outside from the obvious relational qualities in the Libra sense. But when you connect Venus and Taurus, it's like, yeah, the people that I want to spend the most time with would be people that I feel good with, Taurus, and people that I connect with, Libra. And what does that look like in a partner? Depending on where it is in your chart, it's going to show up whether or not you struggle to find that, depending on what house placement's in, how you might find it. And yeah, so just start thinking about where Venus is in your chart, what sign it's in, and then you can kind of look at like what type of partners do I attract, what type of partners do I not want that seem to be coming into my life, all those type of things. Because I know people are going to be wondering like relationships, love, like what's the connection with Venus. I feel like if you put that together, you'll have a good starting point.
Absolute great roadmap. Yeah, it's that simple, which is like easier said than done. Obviously, when we're like telling you the how, what you find might be, contrary and look you know, super easy for some charts, like super, super easy. And then others, like, the seventh house is a mess. Libra, or I'm sorry, Venus is like in a harsh condition that will be felt differently, obviously.
Everyone knows someone who's like really overly fixated on their relationships. And if you take a look at the chart, they're probably exactly what you said.
Yeah,
Like their life
exactly.
is really circled around relationships. And,
Yeah,
I always wondered why. I'm like, why can't these people just like get over it or like move on?
yeah,
And then you look at the seventh and their Venus and you're like, okay,
yeah.
all right,
It's so
I understand.
true. I apologize to all my past friends where I was like, like I don't even know the charts of my like past like in high school. I'm like, oh gosh, like Yeah, it wasn't just like the probably like hormonal factor. Like as like young teenagers, there was probably like a chart thing going on because like some
Mhm.
people really are so fixated, and that's so Venus, to fixate like that in like Scorpio or something.
Yeah, especially Venus and Scorpio. Especially Venus and Scorpio.
My fave.
So let's just go through the houses with Venus to give people an idea of like how their love, what their love life could kind of look like, and then also what Venus is doing in the chart in general.
Yeah.
It'd be
And I
good.
was gonna say, last time you kind of mentioned when we were going through Mars stuff, you were saying, think of the reason why. Can we get one of those like James, not to put you on the spot, James, but what is like the reason for Venus? Like what are we supposed to be like underlyingly thinking?
Oh, sure. Do you want me, well, do you want me to do like a specific sign? I was gonna kind of like flavor, but I can
No, I
pick
mean,
one.
you were kind of saying like, oh, like depending on, if you have Mars in the first, like why do you? Because I was saying Mars in the
Mhm.
first will be like someone who maybe works out, but you were saying the reason is like maybe there's aggression or anger underlying. So maybe is that why you do the things that you do
Yeah,
depending on the house placement? So for Venus, it's like you want to feel beautiful, right? Maybe you want there to be a sense of unity in that space of life. And that would be whatever we're saying moving forward. Think of the reason of Venus, I
right.
suppose, being
Yeah.
the
So I guess
uniting factor.
I'll start just because you got me hot with what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Venus in the first. So the idea of what Venus is at its core is the ability to feel good, right? Like just a
Mhm.
sensation of just warmth, comfort, whatever it might be. And let's use your example with like, I want to feel beautiful, right? It's like, well, why is it that some people might naturally just feel beautiful, but inherently on like a social scale might not really par up with the cultural acceptance of what beauty looks like,
Mhm.
but they still can like strut their shit and look great and like kill it, and they'll be beloved. And everyone will say, oh, she's so beautiful. But like in comparison to some people, you might be like, well, she's not a supermodel, she's not this, not that, or he, whatever. But the ability to like feel good about who you are and what you bring will definitely show up depending on what your Venus condition is and what it looks like. So if you have Venus in the first, you may not necessarily see, this is why the signs kind of get a little mixed up, is that like let's just say you have Venus fallen, no, let's just say Venus in detriment in Scorpio in the first. You might really come off as like that sexy badass.
There's going to be a magnetism there.
Right.
People are drawn to
Right.
you.
But you might be feeling like you really have to work on yourself to get to
Yeah.
that point. And that's like a level of like insecurity and stress that
Hmm.
radiates off of you that people pick up on as like a form of magnetism. They're just like,
Yeah.
oh wow, she really wants me to see her. She really wants me to look at her. It's because she's desperate for attention within herself. Like she wants that
Yeah.
feeling within her. So when you're looking at this person, like wow, like she's really captivating. It's because she's seeking external energy to receive inward. That's an inherent part of that. It's like you're asking for help. So same thing with like a Venus and Aries. If you have Venus and Aries in the first, it's that same quality of like she's coming at me aggressively. She must be into me. Like, duh.
Yeah.
And she's hot as fuck for doing that. But it's like,
Yeah.
you're probably toxic. Like, you're probably doing that because of the insecurity in yourself that you're wanting to reach. One more comparison, just to draw on the opposite end of the spectrum. If you're like a Venus and Taurus in the first, you're hard to get. And you're like, damn, like the standards to meet that chick is like really
You know
high.
the worth. You know your
Right.
worth.
You know your worth, and it's gonna be like an attraction of like, wow, I can't get you, and that makes it hot, you know? But either way, Venus in the first is still gonna bring a quality of pleasure or sensation of your body, of your face, of your whatever, outside of any afflictions or what have you, that could either bring an inner feeling of sensation of like confidence and like presence of knowing your worth with Venus and Taurus, or it's going to lead to like insecurity and like wanting to reach out to others with Venus and Aries. Now, you can, one last note, you could be both, you could have those feelings and objectively look good with Venus in the first, and you probably have like some good qualities either way because of the benefic qualities that Venus brings. But as far as like what your experience is like, you have to ask yourself like what's the sign that it's in and how does that actually relate to myself in every way. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. That's perfect. And like just to bring up one more little bit of an example that's real in my life, because my husband has fallen Venus and Virgo in the first conjunct the moon. Like he is always been known for like being this is so funny to say. Okay. So like he was a drummer, right? But he's like known still for being a drummer, even though he hasn't been in a band. It's like this funny thing, like the art and music, um, on the like in the first, the self. Like he's still known for that, even though he hasn't been in a band for like, years, like since I met him. And yeah, like Venus in the first might be like something like giving that signature of being known for. It's not the sun or anything, but because it's in the first, you're going to be like looked at and noticed for whatever the even like depending on the sign, I guess it would just be appropriate to be known for whatever that is, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, he Venus in Virgo in the first, he makes people feel good through music and
Yeah,
like
he's like really good. Like he's
right.
known for that too. Yeah,
But
skill
how are you
set
good at
Virgo.
music? You have to sort of like hit the right notes, Venus and Virgo.
Exactly.
You have to
Yeah,
know when the
technical.
timing is right. You have to be
Yeah,
technical and like
yeah,
actually, and what makes that, what isn't like such a Virgo thing is like, what's the best version of Virgo? The one who pays attention to the little things,
yeah,
like the details,
exactly.
to be able to do that
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
and offer
exactly.
that Venusian experience. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no. Militantly
No,
Virgo Venus experience to every note. But yeah, that was really beautiful. I love what you like. That was such a great, like, for Venus in the first via like its highest,
mm,
domicile placement and vice versa. Should we go to the second house?
sure.
All right. Second house, Venus is going to look like little luxuries. Obviously, the sign will color this, but little luxuries, your material, you know, wealth that is more so like of a coming and going nature is just going to be maybe like filled with ease. You might not struggle too hard. But you also might because you might like to indulge in things, not like so much more of like we were saying like Mars in the second will be like more impulse buying person, but with Venus there just might be like a shopping like routine that's a little
This
like
is like
more
your guilty,
luxe.
this is your guilty
Mm-hmm.
conscious coming out.
Oh yeah.
Someone
I mean, I have Venus and Jupiter, so it's like, I have a
the good stuff.
philosophy about it. So I buy all the books.
I
It's
love
my
that.
biggest thing. I'm a collector of things. I have Venus in the second. I collect material goods. I'm
Mm,
also like an accumulation factor. I think like people like to give you things because they like, I don't know, like I've always all my life have had like women going like, oh, I like this reminded me of you. I'm getting rid of it here. And it's like really nice things. There's just like a luxury in like hand-me-downs even that are like coming and going and just happen to like maybe end up in your possession. Um
maybe,
maybe,
maybe.
maybe.
I'm speaking to
And
something that I may or may not be sending you, depending on
yes,
what I
that's
receive in return.
of
Caught
course.
4K. Um, speak
We
of
just have
Venus.
like lots of time that ends up, never mind. Okay.
Right, 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 right.
Venus in the
Um,
third is definitely dancing.
yes, Venus there is definitely dancing. Before we get to the dancing portion of the third house, I just want to say one more thing about the second,
Yeah, sorry.
which is that I know someone that has Venus and Scorpio in the second,
Mhm.
and they will be the first person to grab food at the dinner table to make sure no one else gets it.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Depending on the sign, possessiveness of the material things. Because material, I keep going to like this like shopping and like clothing fun stuff, but like second house is obviously I always call like the place of ingestion. So yes, your food, your sustenance, right? And so that is such a perfect manifestation of that. I would imagine Cancer second house Venus would be a little similar, but probably not so violent or
Yeah,
aggressive.
exactly. Exactly. Not so violent. violent emphasis on
Aggressively selfish.
right, yeah. So Venus in the third, probably a great dancer, maybe a good tap dancer, maybe a really good ballet dancer, depending where the sign is. You're getting
A
like,
hot sibling.
yeah, you're getting like, yeah, okay, that's possible too. Or just like a really ease of comfort that your aunts, uncles, cousins bring to your life. I mean, I have the moon in the third, so it might I might it's not so much about the emotional comfort, it's more about the just general feel goodness that someone can bring or what that brings to you, like a good conversation. Let's just say if like Venus in Virgo in the third, maybe like a good conversation. You just love having conversations with people in like your immediate space. Yeah, or just like you really enjoy commuting to work.
Yeah, yeah, you like have fun. You make your commute fun. You like throw music on. You have like a little like party in your car or something.
Right.
Um,
Lather yourself up
on the
in baby
train.
oil
You
before you
like your
land on the
car looks
train.
nice. Yeah, you have like one of those steering wheel covers that's like all fluffy. Um,
Oh my God, you're right. I never thought of that. That's so golden. Like the with the eyelashes on the front of the
yeah,
car.
you deck
Oh
your
my
car
God.
out. You just like have a really cute car, or maybe just like or like depending on the sign, a really sexy car. Um, I have a Venus ruled third house, and everyone's always I said hot siblings simply because my brother got the good genes. Like he's tall, he's blonde, green eyes, super thin, has never gained like an ounce of weight in his life. Like he's also a Libra rising. Um, but I've always like laughed at that, like me having the Venus ruled third house, or yeah, Venus ruled third house, but my brother always getting like the compliments
Mm,
for like being like so cute. He's my younger brother, but he's like so tall, taller than me. But yeah, you might just get along really well with your siblings, and your neighborhood might just be really lovely. You grew up in like a town that looks nice, stuff like that.
yeah. Good relationships with your neighbors, probably.
Yeah. Love thy neighbor
Yeah.
is a whole thing.
Now you got me
But
wanting to look at my siblings' charts to like
yeah.
draw that line with all the other planets. That'd be fun. I'll do that after this.
Well, it's
Um,
actually, yeah, that's so funny. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, are we good for the third?
yep. Fourth
All
house,
right.
Venus. Family is definitely a place of importance to you.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a night chart, you definitely get some good quality time, feeling like you're at peace at home. Like Venus in Pisces in the fourth, I would imagine you come from like a really good family, your ancestry, which fourth house, like everyone talks about ancestry. I just want to like touch on that a bit, like
Yeah.
with Venus qualities, like the lineage of like your parents, parents, and parents, they probably had an easier way to get to where you are than most potentially. That's just like a general idea
Yeah.
to consider with the fourth house. And yeah, just like you just like being at home, especially I know I said it before, but like Venus and Pisces, like it's hard for you to leave your home when you have a Venus and Pisces in the fourth, I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. Or any sign, really. I mean, there just might
Mhm.
be a comfort and like a natural ability to find like the loveliness of being behind the scenes, like taking comfort in not being so on the stage, but rather like at home. More simple, more be like a more old school mentality in regards to how you feel about like love and stuff and things like that. You have like a traditional sense there maybe
Yeah.
happening.
It could also be a place like this is something I want to touch on too with Venus and Jupiter, but with Venus is how like these are all great things, but they can definitely be at your detriment, even when it's not in detriment. You can have a really great placed Venus that is inhibiting you from something else in your chart. Like if you have Venus in Pisces in the fourth, there's like something that you experienced in your life that made you feel as though staying at home is so great. Why would I leave? And let's just say like the ruler Jupiter is in like, I don't know, the ninth in Leo. that might be inhibiting you from traveling, exploring, showing who you truly are in the world
Yeah.
because you're so stuck at home and how what is being provided to you by the family is like, so great. It's like, why do I need to do anything when I have everything I need?
You're so snuggly. Why would you get out of
Right.
bed? You're
Yeah.
so snuggled in like a
Yeah.
nice blanket, you know?
Right. Which like objectively is such a great thing. Like you'd rather
Oh,
that
yeah.
than live in the dirt. But there is something to be said about how people who are in the dirt have a motivating factor to push on and move on. And that quality that, say, like a fallen Venus might bring, or like, let's just take like Venus and Virgo, you're going to put more effort into Venusian things that then motivate you towards other areas in your life where you see
Hmm.
Venusian things. Whereas if you just naturally had Venus and Pisces, it's like you're not really going to put much effort into things because you had this consciousness of like, I don't really need to do those things in the first place.
No, exactly. It's so true.
Like, why are
Like
you walking
with,
around in pajamas, like
yeah, no, those
outside,
people are the pajama people. Why are they the
right? It's
pajama
like I get
people?
it. Like I see it and I know you're feeling good doing it, but like we have to kind of come to a
We're
working
at
day.
work. Like you
Right,
need to put some pants on.
right. Exactly. But yeah, just something to think about. Especially in the
It's
home
so
life, scenario that might be like relatable with people. So
absolutely. I bear with me. There is such thing as too much sugar, right? That's what
yes.
Venus is, and you can indulge and get a stomach ache, or like it can lead to unfavorable outcomes eating too much sugar. So you have to be careful with your dosage.
Good point. Good
Yeah,
point. Yeah,
yeah,
good point.
I
I
love
want to do an
that.
episode one time about one day
Yeah.
about this stuff, just because like I feel like it definitely is my malefics talking, but I do feel like the benefics, while they are so great, people overemphasize the good. They don't really
Oh
emphasize
yeah.
how much good could bring. Like you said, too much sugar.
Too much
It,
sugar.
yeah.
And when we get to Jupiter, it'll be like too much preaching and too much, you got it all figured out. Yeah, okay, we
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the balance here, and that's the thing, right? Like they like ideally will be getting them all to work together in beautiful harmony, the malefics and the benefics, right? To create fifth house.
Dun, 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 dun.
Da-da-da-da. So Venus in the fifth, you can expect these people to be inclined towards the sexiness in life, creative and fun. Yeah, Venus has her joy here.
I don't know why I just got the image of like babies getting popped out one
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
just like
exactly.
pumping
Making
out
new life.
babies all day,
Yeah,
every day. Venus like in Cancer in the fifth or something, just like wanting like
yeah,
these children to take care of.
exactly. Venus going through the fifth transit or natally is just going to bring like the good vibe.
Yeah, you're gonna have some good times creatively, sexually. You're gonna feel empowered to like take on the world to some capacity in your creative endeavors and like what feels good. Like the fifth house, I really love drawing a comparison to like our life essence of
Yeah, totally.
like our spiritual essence and what we're able to like our juice, our flow, like our
Yes.
chakra, our like chi, whatever it
Yes.
might be. Venus goes in that sign, Venus is in it natally. You're probably doing a really nice job pumping things out to
Oh
well,
my
not pumping, but creating things,
God.
to some comparison.
That's why I love talking to you. I'm like, yeah, it is like chi. Like the fifth house is chi, right? Like that's your life essence. You're like, like obviously the first house is like life force maybe, but like
Right.
it's the like more what you make of it essence that the fifth house is like more so embodying, and that's obviously goes on to bigger things like the actual recreation of life, be it like having sex, having children, all these things. But yeah, like your mojo resides in the fifth.
Right.
I love
The
that, James.
capacity for you to have children, we look at the fifth, right? One of the
Yeah.
so look at the fifth, and it's like then you look how that represents in real life. Oh, like they're what's the like your semen is like It doesn't, your
Fertility.
fertility is low,
Yeah.
right? It's like you
Yeah.
struggle with low fertility. It's like, check out the fifth house. Oh, the life force is drained. It's like, how do you actually replenish that? You look to remediating the fifth in some way, offer some creative like capacity to bring life back in their body. Obviously,
Yeah.
way more complex than that, but just
For
something.
sure. But great point, though, honestly. Fantastic point. And Venus is going, especially if you're a night chart, all these things, like it'll, have a tendency to like probably go a little bit smoother in that regard.
Yeah. Go on some dates.
um,
Go on some
yeah, go on
dates,
some dates, have some fun.
or
But
go on
yeah.
less dates.
Or,
You know.
yeah, yeah, that's actually a great
Yeah.
point.
Don't go on too many dates. Um,
Too much sugar.
too much sugar is always true. They'll be sucking on the sweet stuff.
Yeah.
Sixth house Venus.
Sixth house Venus, you have like a great beauty routine. You're the person maybe with like 10 night creams. That's like a series, like first the serum, then the nighttime patches that you put on your face that will like reduce puffiness and all these things. You have a 10-step program of making yourself look good forever. And you brush your teeth. You don't need to be told. You have perfume that you wear every day. These little like routines that are just going to have probably a more beauty bend to them
You might have
potentially.
like a little chihuahua you love.
Right, James? Yeah.
Well, it took me time by Venus square to moon. It took me some time, but these past few years, especially this Venusian, I always brush my teeth, but the Venusian perfection year made me realize the importance of skincare. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've been
If
taking care
you
of my skin.
Your face is everything. It's just you got to take care of it.
Yeah. And when I was
Yeah.
younger, I didn't enjoy it. I hate getting haircuts, but I'm starting to like it again. I'm
Yeah,
starting to
it is
enjoy
fun
haircuts.
to have. You're a lucky man. You're a lucky man. Yeah. I appreciate that when like guys are into skincare and stuff. Like it's so like often feminized, but it's like we all have a face. And like the dermatologist, like my best friend, she's on speed dial. You know what I mean? Like,
I
but the
have to,
Chihuahua factor too that you were getting into was
right? Like
perfect. You might
if
have a Chihuahua.
you have like Venus and what would be like a perfect Chihuahua sign?
Mm,
Ooh, I want to say
Aries.
Aries. I know, but yeah. Like I've been really
Why did we both go
what?
to Aries?
Yeah, we've talking to everyone else. Every like main sign. What else is there? Gemini,
I was gonna say probably Gemini
Gemini, like a nice yappy
with like Mars and Gemini
in the six.
conjunct Venus
Right. You just love yappy little things. And you're like, oh,
in
they're
the
so cute
sixth.
when they bark nonstop.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure the signature, the the doctrine of the Chihuahua placement.
You
That's
know,
the name of this episode, the doctrine of the Chihuahua.
love that. I gotta stop saying oh my God.
No, you're perfect.
Uh I want to say two things before we go to seventh house. One, I have a friend with Venus and Gemini in the 10th, and they are extremely dialed in on what they look like on a daily basis.
Really,
Yeah, I'm well, they like very, very
10th,
particular.
yeah.
What's their sixth then? Their sixth would be Aquarius, but okay. But yeah, they're very particular about like how they look and how they like show up to the world. They're very, very, particular with those things. Um, but oh, I wasn't into I never really wanted animals too much, but lately, I don't know why, I've been thinking about wanting like a miniature. Is it the Schnauzer, the one with the mustaches?
I love that for you. Please just do it. Please do it
I don't know.
immediately.
I'm
Yeah.
like on my reels, I'm like getting like miniature or like the Dachshunds. I don't know the name of them, but
I will be sending you links all week to ones that are up for adoption. We could
Adorable.
literally, oh my God, you could be your ring bearer at your wedding. That's all I'm saying.
Could. Right now that spot is taken by my niece.
Uh,
Um, I have to show you pictures. I don't think I showed you pictures before. I gotta show
I
you.
would love, I would
Oh
love.
yeah,
I feel
she's
like she could walk the dog. So,
she could. She has a miniature King Charles Cavalier,
oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
miniature. The cutest
Send
fucking
me
thing ever.
pictures.
Yeah,
I
I'll
need
send you them.
pictures. I'm so bad at dog breeds. I apologize. So I'm like just envisioning something that I think it might look like,
I'll
but
send
that
you
sounds
pictures. Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Um, I bet, yeah. Yeah, Venus in the sixth is gonna be a love of animals, probably. I have Moon in the sixth, so I can resonate with that. There's just like, and like again, that like pimping out the just like the car in the third. You might like dress your pet more, like the Paris Hilton. Just like make your pet look more.
You dress up your cat?
I do not. I try. I
Um,
tried once.
hmm.
Cats are different, they just will rip your face off. And I would never do that like really, but we have like this little sweater because it gets cold in our house. So I was just trying to put a little sweater on. I'll never do it again, but don't
Very
dress your
thoughtful.
cats, dress your dogs. Um, but yeah, to that routine like thing, the sixth house dread and decay significations just become a little bit more beauty, maybe oriented, or just maybe easier and more pleasant with Venus there.
Venus in the sixth. Relationships on relationships on relationships. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna do a pretty good job meeting and connecting people for the most part, like in general. People will find you pleasurable. You'll find other people pleasurable to some extent. You'll offer things to them that are beneficial to some capacity. There's like a connectiveness that you want with others that brings you a sensation of like comfort or whatever the sign might be. And there will be, especially in a night chart, obviously, we keep saying night chart because if you have a night chart, then Venus
Yeah.
would be more beneficial to you than Jupiter would be in comparison. Um, so there will be a large impact that relationships play into your life and how you're able to experience them and bridge them. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty simple, right? I
That
don't know.
was
Am I
beautiful.
missing anything?
Yeah, beautifully
No.
said. You
Okay.
attract like Venus in the seventh is going to be you are attraction, like there's an attraction to you, or you're attracted to others like with a more like ease and flow and stuff, of course, depending on other factors. But I think you just did a really great job chalking that up.
I know some people with Venus and Aries in the seventh that will say the complete opposite of that. So just to touch on like if there is struggle with the Venus in the seventh, the main thing to realize is that relationships will be a part of your own inner sense of feel good. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty straightforward for like how people could
Yeah,
experience it.
totally. Venus in the eighth, other people's resources maybe be of a benefit to you at certain times. Um, the tabooness here, I again will like kind of maybe go, there might be like a more of like a, and Venus being relationships, there might be fetishes involved with other people that are of like some sort of mutual benefit, as I've seen in charts before, and secrets that are maybe of a more like uh, sultry demeanor.
Probably really, it's probably a lot easier for you to sign contracts,
Yeah.
get into relations with people on a deep level that you might not really be fully ready for, or you are ready for, depending on the context. I read a chart for someone once with Venus in the eighth, and they said, I think it was like verbatim, something like, why is it that I can't seem to have what other people have? And
Mm.
why is it that I'm unable to, why, like, it was like basically like they wanted to get with someone so that they can have their money. That was essentially what it was.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
that
they
makes
had
sense.
a Venus that was like, I think it was like with Mars and like maybe like square Saturn or something like that. And it was like, obviously this is why. But the main point I'm trying to make is that this connection with like what other people have and how you relate to it, you might be the person that like throws yourself onto others just so that you can feel intimacy and not even really care whether or not like you're with them or not, which
Hmm.
speaks to that, fetish or that kink of like
Yeah.
giving yourself to other people, and still being able to form true bonds with others, but your capacity to give yourself to others isn't entirely representing your
Hmm.
committal, seventh house with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's perfectly said. There's like a disconnect of energy connecting you, perhaps. It's kind of a complex placement. I know someone with Mars in the eighth in Taurus, and this person just has had it very easy, very, very smooth ride, to a point where others are kind of always a little irritated by the ride that they've been granted via others in such, there's like kind of this ease given to them by other people that is just like ridiculous, to the hard workers that I know in life.
Mhm. Yeah,
There's a spoiled factor.
you might do a really good job filling out the form and winning over people to
Mm.
then receive the scholarship for the school that you
Yes.
might not really deserve, but like
Yes.
deserve, like, what have you. But uh yeah,
You have a
hope you
way
enjoy
of
that.
kind of winning over the resource because of Venus being charming and alluring and
Or it can be
attracting.
elusive. It can definitely be when you have someone who can, like, if I'm speaking to someone who has Venus in my eighth, there might be a quality of like, oh, they feel me differently than how others might feel me, or like the perception of like where I'm picking up their Venus energy would be my eighth house. And so I'd pick that up, I'd be like, ooh, they're tapping into something that feels good, or like might be triggering depending on like different areas of the chart, what have you. So like, yeah, that's
There's
interesting.
like a psychic component almost, even
Yeah, that some
perhaps. Yeah.
people might not really be aware of. So that
Yeah.
that leads to like a lot of like manipulation and
Hmm.
when someone rolls around with like a Venus placement in your eighth, you're kind of like you're fucking trouble. Holy shit. Like
For me,
can't
it's the
have
people
that.
in the pajamas in my
Yeah,
eighth.
right.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to see you in your pajamas.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Venus in the
Anyway.
ninth, you get on a plane in your pajamas.
Yes.
Yeah.
You love to travel and you love to learn and you um this is actually one of my favorite kind of placements. I wish I had this placement. Venus in the ninth is like so maybe artful and cure like that curation quality I was talking about in the beginning, to um kind of ritual and like things like that. Like dress up is such a huge part of like planetary magic and stuff, so like if you have Venus there you might be like good at styling altars and like getting like a vibe right in these sort of more sophisticated uh endeavors such as magic and ritual and uh things that require education and the like.
Hmm, I like that. I could see it being also like the person that you go to just like get you,
Mm-hmm.
just like even if what they say might not really be like Jupiterian and like all the wisdom that they could provide to you. Venus in ninth, if I'm talking to someone Venus in ninth, what they tell me, even if it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
hit the nail on the head, you're still landing at a spot that feels right.
It's like the comfort of having a not a guru. What am I thinking of? A teacher, just like someone that a
Mhm.
counselor of some kind. That it's like the safety of like having a knowing counselor that you can trust and depend on and shepherd you through.
Ooh, what about like you go to Venus the ninth, you go to like a meditative experience, like you find someone, or this person would be like the right meditative person to like get you right, whereas like
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter would be like the sage that like teaches you the
Yeah.
ways and whatnot.
Yes,
Yeah,
very well said. That is definitely what it is. It's again that material versus
right.
philosophical.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, I like that. I never thought of that.
Yeah,
That's
me
good.
neither.
I would enjoy that. That'd be fun. I need to find me some Venus and ninth people. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and like maybe your priest is like really hot or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Venus is always just hotness to me. I'm sorry, I'm showing my shallowness in this episode.
No, it is. It is. I mean, you gotta be the one to say it. Uh,
It's of course the fallen Venus that's just saying it how it is. Like, hotness. It's what everyone's striving for, is it not? Just kidding.
From
um,
Venus's like lens.
from Venus's,
Yeah.
trappedness fall. Um, so Venus in the 10th, you might be known for your beauty, very simply, or making beautiful things. Um, Sorry, were you done with Venus in the ninth? I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
mean
yeah,
to
yeah.
rush over. Okay. Yeah, Venus in the 10th, you might just have a reputation for physical beauty or like making things that are beautiful, uniting people. There's like just something, you know, alluring about you that is known in a broader sense.
Yeah, for sure. Could also be someone who just provides the ability to make things right, like say like Venus and Virgo, for example, like just knowing like the right combination of things to offer comfort, just paying
Hmm.
attention to those things that you then do for, your career, what you're known for, and me, tell me if you agree with this, but like a radiatingness of just general Venusian sensations, like just
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be seen and brighter. Like if this people with Venus in the 10th are just going to be seen a little more like brighter, more um yeah, just more appealing above the rest, like even depending on the sign, I would argue it would just still shine through. Venus in the 10th and the first are just going to be very obvious, nice people. Aesthetically or behaviorally, there's just going to be like a pleasantness to these individuals. And I was going to say too, 10th house Venus designers of like fashion, you'll see things like that happening, like technical design, being able to be known for stuff like that, or
Mm,
artists overall, probably more than anything.
yeah. Venus is a bright planet. So if
Hmm.
like you're experiencing that, let's just say like at nighttime or like well, it wouldn't be night, it would be more like rising or um
Yeah, whatever phase
right,
it's
yeah,
rising or
because it
setting
doesn't get
in.
too
Yeah.
far from the sun. So whatever it is, if like you notice it in the 10th, as long as the sun isn't too close, it's gonna be bright. So yeah,
Hmm.
10th house bright. I like how you said that. It's good.
Yeah, she's sparkly. She's the
Sparkly.
diamond star. Um, yeah, I love Venus when you can see her when she's setting in her setting phase
Mm.
as an evening star when the sun gets below. It'll be really incredible the view because she's so sparkly, but it's like it's like not yet fully dark out. It's amazing. It's a great view. I love Venus and astronomy too. But so yeah, 11th house,
11th
these
house.
beloved people who are
Yeah.
beloved because of just their charm and their aesthetic. I have my best friend, she has Venus in the 11th in Leo. She was a stylist, makeup artist, like for like, the 11th house being like, communities of people or audience. There was like absolutely and she always has had like a mass appeal in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I gotta meet her.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. She's Venus in my ninth, Leo.
Oh
So I
yeah,
want
you're gonna meet her
to.
at UEC. So
Oh yeah, right, yeah, right. Cool, cool, cool. That'd be fun. Yeah, I agree. Everything you said, honestly, on point. I think also just like the component of like the something I've been thinking about a lot is how the 11th is what you put out in the world.
mhm.
Um, and just like what you put out would be Venusian to some capacity for the most part. I wonder
Yeah, the
what Austin's
artsy.
wife's 11th is. Do you know that or no?
I think she's a Scorpio rising.
Virgo.
So that would be a Leo 10th. So Virgo 11th.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay,
I think
something to
she
think
has
about.
Mercury there. Or I'm sorry, she has Venus in there. She has
Does
Venus in
she?
the 11th. Yes, she does.
Gotta brush.
Not too shabby, James. Not
I'm
too
gonna
shabby.
brush myself on that one. Brush myself on that one.
I'm impressed. I we have to send her a little clip of this.
How'd you? Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk later about that because
Yeah, that's
yeah, I
awesome.
was curious. Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting.
What made you say that?
Well, I said what you put out in the 11th would be Venusian, and she
Yeah.
does all Venusian aesthetic
Yeah.
qualities. So,
Yeah.
and if it's, you said in Virgo?
Yeah.
yeah, rituals
Check,
and
check. Yeah,
right.
check,
Oh,
check, check.
wow. That's a,
Not bad. I am
thank you. Thank
freaking
you. Thank you.
impressed. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Funny enough, I believe so. What would that fifth house be? Sorry, Kate, we're just like delineating your chart now.
Uh, the
um,
babies pumping out babies.
yeah, well, creative, right? And
Yeah.
what would that be though? So that would be
Pisces.
like Pisces, yeah.
Yeah.
And her moon's there. So
Oh,
yeah.
she has her moon in Pisces in the fifth with,
Yeah, it's
oh,
beautiful.
wow.
And like, oh
And
my
I can
gosh.
see
And
how
like
you,
honestly, that's why Sphere and Sundry is such an interesting and like revolutionary thing for the world. Like people have been doing talismans for thousands of years, but with stone and like very heavy items. Like hers are more fleeting. They're oils, they're liquids, you know what I mean? They're the exact opposite of like talisman in the traditional sense. But
ooh.
you
And
know,
she
there's
does
this
like these,
liquid, there's it's Pisces, it's moon, it's it's just, you know, uh waters and like you know the liquids of earth and the yeah I could say a
I get
million
you.
other
Yeah,
things
I
but
get
yeah
you. She also
I was like
does it with,
sensory overload.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just she also does it with Austin, so
Mhm,
relational Venus partners, and then Austin's in that fifth. He's a Pisces, and they kind of have to like work together
mhm.
to match. And then look, oh man, it's such a. I'm
That's
glad you mentioned.
great, yeah.
Not to riff on this, but like the Virgo-ness, I see her like doing like the altar stuff, and
Yeah,
how. I mean, I looked at it, I was like, wow, that looks really
oh yeah.
like grounded, earthly. All the flowers and all the other things she puts together, and the emotional drain that might bring with having to, like Austin says, like waking up in the middle of the night sometimes to do it, you
Absolutely,
know.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
interesting. Cool.
Shout
Want to go
out
to 12th
Kate.
house? Yeah, shout out
Yeah,
to you,
let's do
Kate.
it. These people are Um, Venus in the 12th. Who do I know? I have some people in my life that are Venus in the 12th. They are a little brutish, but I'll let you maybe take this one to get us started. I'm struggling a little bit.
Venus in the 12th. I mean, there's a lot I could say depending on what it is, but here's like some potentials. There could be like hidden addictions to like pleasure. There could be
Hmm.
hidden relationships. There could just be that your partner is behind the scenes and not in like public facing. You know, you just love your private life when it comes to everything Venusian. You might really, you might also feel like maybe not shame, but you might feel repressed, what have you, over your desires and what you put
Mm,
about in the world. So there could be that quality of hiddenness. So like, for example, like if you have Venus in 12th, one of like the kink things might be like you love to like, I don't know, watch or you love to be watched or something, because that
mm,
feeling of like seenness brings
yeah.
a sense of inner acceptance. So if you think about that with a love life, you're going to um, attract people who give you that sense of safety and security Venusian wise. Like what does
Yeah.
this person see in me that is so deep that can offer that sense of comfort? Or you don't get it and you find it elsewhere, to provide.
Yeah, isolation. I think like online relationships or something like that being
Yeah.
like a thing. And there's a secret. That's what I was gonna like when I was just like riffing in my brain. I'm like, oh, like secretly sexy or secretly beautiful. Maybe there's like layers to this person's love life that are just not known even to them at times. Something
What's
to
the expression?
meditate on.
Not freaking the sheets, but like I picture like those people that like you think are like nerds and then you bring them to the bedroom and they're just like, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
nerd in the streets, freak in the sheets. I don't
Right,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or you just like really enjoy being alone.
Yeah,
You
there's
can
like
go
a beauty
crazy.
in being alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could just like your alone time, and just recharging from like a comfort perspective. Be like, let me just be at home and like watch TV and eat popcorn, just hang out, you know?
Yeah. They're like the people that you
Pop,
know, I was gonna say something
fucking
inappropriate. I'm not gonna
popcorn.
say
Who the
it.
fuck eats
Yeah.
popcorn anymore? Do you eat
I
popcorn?
don't. I
I
do
don't
not.
eat popcorn either.
I haven't had
What's
popcorn in
popcorn?
years, like decades. It's been since I Piece of
Popcorn anymore. That what the hell? Where the fuck did that come from? Yeah, sit down and eat popcorn. Said that with a straight face. Jesus Christ. If you eat popcorn, comment
You're not allowed to
below.
listen to
You're
our
not
podcast.
we're blocking you.
You're not
Unless
in
you
the
cut up.
circle.
Yeah. Oh my God. What were you saying? I'm sorry. I was just
No,
like
I'm so happy that it
beefing
got
with that.
brought up instead because I was like, maybe these are people that like you know, we just don't need to know about what they do behind closed doors.
Yeah, leave it to yeah, do what
Leave
you
it to
gotta
the
do. No
imagination.
judge, just do what you
No
gotta do, you know?
judgment. Please, no judgment at all. Yeah. Just
But there is a
you
struggle.
know.
I mean, I don't think Venus is too great in the 12th because there is like
She's
you
wanting to relate, and the 12th is everything that is isolation and seclusion. So it's where the Saturn has his joy, you know,
I would love to do it.
not a natural.
I promise people I will one day do a 12th house Venus thing
Exclusive.
exclusive. I feel like those people, there's a lot
I
that
have a
needs to
lot
be
to say.
unwound, a lot to say about that. Because it's like the 12th is so, you're so unaware sometimes that you need to like unwind everything and
Absolutely.
sit
Maybe
down.
like even these people don't even know how like pretty they are or something. And like other people are like, what are you talking about? Like you're so like there's maybe just an unawareness of like aesthetic.
Hmm.
Uh but yeah, that's a great idea. Please do an exclusive. I would love to hear more because I only had like kind of really things that I'm not comfortable with saying in this setting that are very true though in my lived experience with people that I know who have this placement.
Okay.
No shame, but
No
yeah,
shame. No, no shame. I mean, this is free world here.
absolutely.
All
All
right.
right.
So let's take a 2 minute break and come right back.
All right. Moving on to Jupiter and its beneficence. Tell us about it, Sag Rising.
Jupiter is expansive,
Hmm.
which I love for Sagittarius because it's like the horizons are so far reaching. We just have to attain it. It's like how we get to the destination, the goal, and then why are we doing it? And
Hmm.
then the Jupiter Pisces is like this, well, what is it made of? And how can we actually create something that meets that broad horizon? And when you look out into the sky and you see, is it the second brightest?
Jupiter?
Yeah.
I'd imagine like, yeah, it's one of the brightest for sure.
Yeah.
After Venus, yeah.
I actually don't remember what the point I was going to say with that, but yeah, I mean,
It's another sparkle in the sky.
definitely a sparkle. Two big sparkles. Venus and Jupiter. Yeah, it's really interesting because Jupiter's triplicity, I believe, is in fire signs,
Hmm.
which as a Piscean, it took me some time to warm up to because I was like, as a Sag rising, yeah, but all my Pisces placements, no. So I was trying to like meet the middle between the two. And there is a lot to be said about the necessity to have that fire quality with Jupiter to really understand what Jupiter is all about, which is
Yeah.
wisdom and that, uh, in a way, positivity, like to be able to have the motivation to do the things that you want to hope and dream and achieve.
Yeah, it's a spark, not like an igniting spark, like as in Mars, but like that like ethereal spark of wonderment and stuff like that. I love Jupiter. He is the first planet that I ever like did any sort of formal like planetary magic with because he's just like the most positive, most like blessed planet in the um solar system. There is a sense of balance and renewal and restoration with Jupiter. And, but like, not only that, it won't just like add like healing and things like this to the life, it'll add on and expand and grant wishes that you can't even really begin to imagine. When I was like doing regular Jupiter work, I was when I was like honestly just so blessed with opportunity that I couldn't believe that was like coming my way and stuff like that. And it's like material, but it's also the mindset more here than with Venus. Like Venus is super material, and obviously Jupiter can add to that, but it is more so the mindset in which helps you gain the material that we see here with Jupiter.
Yeah. Jupiter. So much I want to say, but I love the quality of what you just said, and adding to that the component of like luck that
Hmm.
typically
Oh yeah.
brings to the equation. And I believe a lot of that has its association with Pisces. And then I'll draw the comparison to Sagittarius, and then the whole thing will kind of make sense. So
Hmm.
with Jupiter, Pisces archetypally, Pisces is like the container of everything. And
Hmm.
so when you're in that container, there's everything else besides what you're aware of that is outside of the container. So what that means is like there's a lot going on within the oneness of all that you're not going to really know what's happening and how's it coming. So when you consider what luck inherently is, it's sort of like the match between of destiny, where what
Hmm.
you need or what you're expecting or just what is becoming to you is matching your present moment, right? How does that happen? Well, you need the entirety of all to like combination wise lead to a point to where you are now to then receive the luck. And what's interesting about that, to draw the comparison to Sagittarius, is like there needs to be some type of fire factor to then lead you to that point. Like there has to be a thrust or some type of forward moving action to get you to that point that then the opportunity will then match within the escapist wall. Because if like you're in a container of just like you, let's like the Venus and Taurus of like being in that present moment, it's kind of hard to get lucky when you're just not doing anything. You know, even if you're just
Yeah.
walking to the bodega or the store and you happen to buy a lottery ticket just for fun and you win, you needed that push to get there at some point.
Yeah. The walk
Um,
that walk over. Yeah.
right. Even and something so small like that can still speak to like the manifestation what Jupiter can bring. So yeah, like the luck component always struck me for a while until I realized that you have to be within Pisces to grasp what luck or fortune inherently is, which is like you're involved in everything. And it just so
Yeah.
happens that combination wise leads you to where you are, which Jupiter can give to you.
I kind of like this idea of what you're saying. It's like the container of all is Pisces. And then when you bring in the like the like archer of Sagittarius, the centaur, the half
Yeah.
man, half horse component, like the ability to aim at like whatever it is within the container that you are most like matching with, and it, being able to draw it back and aim and get there even if it's a very far away, seemingly distant, like out of this world idea. Like how could you dream such an absurdity, like the archer being able to shoot its shot and land and manifest in the
Right.
world. Yeah.
And
Or the
freedom is
life.
like a huge component to Jupiter as well. Adding on the Pisces with the Sagittarius again, it's like, well, freedom represents the ability to move within the waters, right? You want to
Mm-hmm.
like swim and go and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on your level of urgency, depends on like how much freedom you have or you don't have, or your assumption of non-freedom or your assumption of actual freedom, whatever it might be. And it's sort of like, okay, so with all this freedom, let's imagine, Pisces, what we could put together. But in order to do that, there has to be that Jupiterian quality of fire, which is like, well, first I need urgency to actually want the freedom to create something or to
Yeah.
put something out. And then the other is like to actually put it together and then to put it out there and aim, to actually
Yeah.
make it, to have the target, which
Yeah.
adds to like the wisdom and the faith and the like, just so much. I just love
I
this
know.
conversation. Yeah, it's
Yeah. I
such
mean,
a,
Jupiter as a whole, like, let's maybe move away just from the
yeah,
two, like, domicile placements, because those are the it's hard because those are the archetypal places that he dwells in. But so what Jupiter will do, no matter what in a chart, my favorite Austin Coppock quote about Jupiter is it just bestows blessings. However, Jupiter can help, it will. And that's why it's like almost a relief to get to Jupiter, honestly, because there's just always a balance. There's always something working with you. Kind of that larger faith idea of like someone watching over you that humans take massive comfort in. That's like kind of this idea of Jupiter. There's like this guardian in the chart. And so even if it's in detriment, all the like woe is me places it could be in, it's still going to try and help and do its best. even more than Venus, I'd imagine, because of the sugar component we were joking about with Venus isn't a factor here necessarily.
Yeah.
Obviously, unless it's like Thanksgiving, right? I mean, I guess I'm
Right.
joking. I'm joking. I'm getting literal. But yeah, Jupiter is wisdom. Jupiter, so like wherever it is, no matter the sign, it's bestowing wisdom, a balance, and like what is wisdom? Wisdom is an ability to elevate your mindset and expand into a position that wasn't there before. So there's like this growth aspect to Jupiter, but it's not rooted growth. It's not like Saturn or Venus, like all these like more earthly types of like responsibility things. It's like really, really, really focused on philosophical pursuits and truth and belief and expansion without roots means like, like the world's the oyster type of vibe to me.
Yeah, and Jupiter literally protects our planet in the solar system from asteroids.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean, there's a lot to be said about that in terms of just like being too comfortable with that level of protection, and not, that's a whole different podcast episode.
Yeah.
But I'll talk to you about that after. Basically, just like this
Yes,
quality of like asteroids hitting the planet Earth that Jupiter takes on the brunt of every couple months during the year when we go through a certain asteroid belt. Jupiter takes on the brunt of those asteroids, which
that's
is
crazy.
hilarious because even during the Hellenistic period, they would talk about Jupiter being the protector, and they didn't even really know the science behind it. So it's kind of amazing how that
That's
connects.
amazing.
But what protects you more than having faith in the world,
Yeah.
right? If you have no faith in the world and you're sort of just like giving up and you're just not doing anything with yourselves and you're just like, I give up, there's no point in living, you will attract that negative energy. You will attract things that aren't really like great for your life. But if you keep a positive mindset and you have hope and you're, to use like the magic words would be like pleasing Jupiter in a way,
Hmm.
you know, you would then have that layer of protection that would just be bestowed upon you to some capacity, which is like having
Absolutely.
faith.
Absolutely. And like you see a lot of people throughout history just compare the Jupiter archetype to like religious people, right? Like, preachers and the like. Uh, yeah, just higher people in that system and whatnot because it can be preachy, it can be very dogmatic. And those are, I guess, some shadow traits if you aren't looking for that particularly in a moment and you kind of happen upon someone with like a over excessively Jupiterian spirit, you can meet someone who's like harping on something you really don't care about maybe or you know or
Oh,
the opposite, the broken Jupiter, the pessimist, like, oh, like I believe in science, there's no such thing as
oh
a higher
yeah,
power,
yeah, yeah.
those are maybe like shadow things to talk about.
Yeah, when I was younger, once I was preachy, I didn't really give a fuck that much about what other people did about their own lives. But like, yeah, I definitely, when I was younger, I would open my mouth just to tell people what they should do from time to time. But
I'm the same way. Listen, get a couple drinks in me, I can be very dogmatic, you know I have that Saturn Jupiter thing happening, so
right, right, right. So
or just
yeah,
maybe Jupiter and Mercury, I don't know, anyway.
but I think Jupiter, even if you're not necessarily, I said something about like Jupiter having the faith and not offering the protection. I just want to clarify that Jupiter will inherently do its best to help you as much as it possibly can, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a layer.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
Um,
point about Jupiter. It's a blessing.
yeah, and what that brings to the table and how you view it in your life takes time to get to because you can't, it's like out of the womb, you're not going to have this bestowed grace, but you would
Yeah.
have this bestowed, like, you're going to be a cute baby. Like I was talking earlier, you're going to be a very beautiful baby,
Has a good
usually.
attitude.
But will this baby be on the streets preaching the Bible? No. No. Will this will this baby, be the image of monks out in fucking Thailand on a boat? No.
No,
That takes
no.
time to accumulate and get that knowledge.
Absolutely. And like yeah, I think too as well with Jupiter, there's a practicality with the knowledge and wisdom gained. So it's like put into the life and lived out in its highest form when you have someone with like a healthy connection to the Jupiter sphere.
Yeah, like the journey of everything.
Yes.
I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes or whatever, and I'm considering calling it the journey of transformation with
Ooh,
the Pluto on the ascendant, first house.
you
Uh,
gotta do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is like about the journey, and Jupiter is a 12-year cycle throughout the zodiac, so you're not going to be hit immediately with these Jupiterian insights. It's going to take, a lifetime to, or at least like by your middle age, to have some form of like actual connection to what maybe your perceived purpose is, or what,
Yeah.
you want to do with yourself, or what others should do, or whatever it might be. Jupiter will ring to that phone.
Absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of 12 years, should we get into the 12 houses of what
Yeah,
Jupiter uh, you know, bestows to them
sure.
and looks like.
Hmm.
But to just wrap up that point really quickly though, yeah, the Jupiter cycle, you're gonna come to like this new sense of, I mean, ideally you kind of have like a new wisdom on life every, dozen years, you're coming back to your natal Jupiter placement and Jupiter returns, they're going to bestow like a new outlook, hopefully of a helpful kind. That's
Yeah,
the difference between Saturn, I guess, and Jupiter. Sorry. Anyway,
that's a good point.
houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about that, but we could do that one day for an episode.
Yeah, it's a good
Compare
idea.
the two.
Yeah. I
Benefics
like
versus
that.
benefics, yeah.
And then Venus and Mars. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right.
Jupiter in the first. If Venus is like you look really good, Jupiter is like you're probably going to do a lot of good.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yourself.
gooder.
Yeah. There's a lot of gooder energy. No, for real. There's like a sense of connection to the Jupiter sphere that you yourself hold. So like you're doing the work maybe or initiating the work yourself of some kind that is in the charitable sphere or something or teaching.
Right. And if Venus is like you're maybe has like a sense of magnetism of like attraction, Jupiter can tend to fill up a room, which either
Yeah.
people can be pushed away from depending on, or it could be like wanting to go within it. So that
Drawn.
sphere
Yeah.
that they bring to the table is like very immersive, which is lots of like Pisces quality that could bring.
Yeah. Just like the person that's just like um just a very light, emanates like light and sort of like not like star quality, but kind of just an etheric vibe or some sort of thing.
Yeah, I know someone Jupiter in Libra in the first conjunct the ascendant, and
Oof.
he's very everyone very easy to get along with, but if you don't get along with him, you're in deep
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
But he has this like ability to enter a room and the space is sort of his.
Yeah. That's a nice life, honestly.
Yeah.
That's a nice life.
Yeah, or
Um,
yeah, people give or take it, but I mean, yeah, but yeah, it's touching on the point of like filling up a room really well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One last thing about this too, we have a teacher with Jupiter on the ascendant,
Right. In Cancer. Right.
in
Yeah.
Cancer and exaltation, and he's my favorite teacher. And I basically everything he does, I trust that truth and trust factor. I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh,
like it's good. It's Austin. It's guy.
I like
Yeah,
that. I
sign
like
me
that a
up.
lot.
I'll blindly follow that rule.
I
He
like
wouldn't
that.
want me to, but like I would.
Right. That's a wow. Good point. Yeah. You just trust them, which yeah, I mean, Jupiter first. Yeah. People put their trust in you.
Yeah,
I
because
like that.
you're usually like Jupiter's pretty trustworthy unless it's like, in certain conditions. But yeah, just wanted to bring that one up
Good.
for
That
fun.
was a good one to bring up. I like that a lot. Um,
Thanks.
Jupiter in the second. I have Jupiter in the second in fall.
Same.
So do you. Yeah.
No, and
We've been
yeah.
catching it. And if you have Jupiter in the second, you would probably collect turkeys. Nah, you can show the crowd. Dun, dun, dun,
This,
dun.
this is Armand, and it's because I got him, and this is what differentiates because I have James has Jupiter fallen in the second. I have Venus fallen in the second plus Jupiter in detriment in the second. And so the philosophy behind Armand is that it is a jovial turkey because the Thanksgiving holiday is such a jovial holiday itself. It is on every Thursday. I'm sorry, the last Thursday of the month of November during Sagittarius season, right? There's like a whole reason to have bought this. There's a there's a philosophy
We got it.
behind
We got it. We
my
got
turkey.
it. Your turkey is valid.
It's the
You love
heart.
your
It
turkey.
is
You love your turkey. You
the
love your turkey.
feasting. Yeah, it's because I love Jupiter is why I bought the turkey. Anyway,
Unless you like did some sorcery, put a soul in that thing, and now it's like a voodoo doll that you just pull
no,
out
God,
to show people.
no, not quite
No,
at
I'm
all.
only joking.
But
I no, but it's true. If you do have like Jupiter in there,
I,
there is a
yeah,
tendency to collect things and potentially hold on to them. With the Venus, it's like you get the pleasure
I
out of
get the
it.
thing. Yeah.
With the Jupiter, like for me, for example, when I was younger, I would collect like keychains, and I have a
Oh, there you
whole
go.
ton of keychains. I went to a habit with my mother. I'm in a whatever lately where we're like collecting Pokemon cards to sell.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a couple businesses where like I would basically buy and flip things for money in the second house with Jupiter there. So it's like, but like I would find a purpose for it. It's like this has meaning
Exactly.
to me,
There's a meaning,
There's a
but the
meaning.
material,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, and like you probably have some luck financially where like even if you're not making a lot of money or you're not yet making a lot of money, whatever the case may be, there's some general protection in you're not going to be run down in the mills for very long with Jupiter
yeah,
there. So yeah, I mean there's some good support to the life, but it might be hard to see it because second house is a dark house, so it might be difficult
yeah,
to see it.
yeah. And like maybe there's like people are just like more aware than maybe you even are to like what charity you need, and then like in later years when you're able to you give back, you pay that forth, and you're able to like donate and like give things to others in need when you like because you remember that sort of time in life where you were struggling. I've seen that a lot with different charts. Jupiter in the third, though.
Yep. Ooh,
Um, yeah,
a lot of cousins.
yeah.
Um, what would you say?
Choir, the choir singing.
That's good. Good choir.
You know, the commute to church. Maybe you have like I don't know, there's like an excitement to like ritual that you find in like philosophy and you find a like philosophy in the small things and they bring you kind of great joy, stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe you're like a religious blogger.
Yeah, also just like reading a lot of books, like
Yeah.
really trying to take on the meaning of things, even if they are like jovial or like mundane, or if they are just simple stuff, you might have a tendency to find meaning in very
Yeah.
everyday today type of things.
Yeah, like that exactly. Yeah. The big ritual being ninth house, small, like um I heard someone say like, oh, like going to like the Easter mass is ninth house, but the like lighting of the sphere and sundry candle on moon's day and hour, that's like your small
Mhm.
thing. And so maybe there's like a connection that you find very great and, comforting in those sort of daily routines,
Fourth
daily
house,
rituals,
daily
fourth
ritual,
house. Yeah. Um, big family. Yeah.
big family. If you probably have like some connection with someone in your home, perhaps your father being relevant to you on like a deep level of, you might not really have enjoyed your family life, or you might have really enjoyed it, but either way, there's some form of connection that you can really, when you think about your life from a big picture perspective, you can always come back to like your family life as like a good,
Totally.
meaningful uh experience for you to some capacity.
I feel like these are like I don't know what I'm thinking of, but there's like the like family code, like the book of family rules or something that was like 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 ritual, not rituals, but like traditional family like values. Like my grandfather did this,
Mm.
my dad did this, I do this, now you must do this, son. Like there's like this carrying forth like very healthy and alive of tradition maybe brought down to these
Oh,
people.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I feel like
I
there's a
like
word more
that.
simply to put with that, but that's what I'm
No,
thinking.
yeah, you said it really well. I like
Thanks.
that. I have to think about that a lot. That was good.
Yeah.
Mm. Let's
And
go to fifth house
then
before I get too deep into that because that was good. Fifth house, abundance in
yeah,
what you are able to create. I mean, like you have a lot of meaning in what you do. You, I love the fifth house Jupiter placement, honestly.
I have a fifth house ruled by Jupiter. I went to school for like fashion back in the day in my past life. But I was always really drawn to the classes in which you like came up and had to really hone in on like your brand philosophy or your design philosophy and like making sure there was like always something backing that a unification and backing like whatever it was like all the different things you were producing there was always like a one key concept that there was underlying it and I feel like these people will have a tendency to be able to do that pretty well
It's well
if you
said.
have Jupiter there.
Yeah, well said.
Jupiter in the sixth is one of probably the more tough placements for Jupiter. It's just really zapped of all of its like sprightly blessing power. But it could kind of go both ways. I could see it maybe leading to like an abundance of health issues
Yeah.
or health issues that don't get that bad.
Yeah. I also see this as like, I don't know if you would give this a third or the sixth, but I take this as someone like who needs to do affirmations every day, like someone
Totally.
who just like looks
I'd
in the
say
mirror.
both.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because like you wouldn't feel the need to do those things if you didn't feel like you lacked it already to some
Yeah.
component. So yeah, I mean there's just like a general hope in the day to day. There's a general potential like goodness that you could bring. I think that Jupiter in sixth, yeah, if you have like two malefics fucking up that Jupe a
Hmm.
little bit. I think it will still be a bit of possibility, but yeah, I mean, you got a good point. It could really show up as like some ugly stuff.
Or
Yeah.
maybe your like work philosophy is really good. You have like a good work ethic and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And you know, maybe you do charity for animals and things like this,
Yeah. And
pets
sixth
and
house
stuff.
really is a dinger to sixth house sometimes,
It
huh?
really is. It's like we're always like kind of harping. We're like, yeah, fourth, fifth, and sixth.
Yeah, but you
Seventh.
can there's a lot of
Okay.
service you can do with the six too. I mean, there's like some
Absolutely
good,
great.
yeah,
Perfect
a lot
point.
of good service.
Acts of service.
Acts
Yeah.
of service could be great,
Yeah.
yeah. Which can be great with Jupiter. But
Yes.
yeah, it can definitely struggle. Seventh house. Ooh. Now, would you say your partner is well known with this or potentially well known? How would you say that? Like what you get
Depending
what I'm
on the
kind of saying.
sign. Yeah, depending on the sign, I feel like the partner's like if you have Jupiter in the seventh, my first go-to is like lots of partners, but it isn't always that. It might be like modest partners of
Ooh.
but like famed or universally beloved, what have you, known for spiritual stuff.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, there
Yeah.
could be like a need to want someone to, oh man, it's interesting. Yeah, like especially if it's in a bad condition or like struggling or whatever, it could be like searching for meaning in the other that could feel really suffocating, if like you're
Hmm.
experiencing that, but it could also if like it's really well and you do, it's in a really good placement, it could also be very like fulfilling to the other person, like providing such meaning and hope for someone else. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
Hope. Yeah.
Potential luck with business partners, that could go pretty well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, in general, though, it's going to be a good place for the most part. It's an angular house. It's going to have a lot of impact, but yeah, I mean, just like we said earlier, if you want to get more dialed in on your placement, book a reading
Yeah.
below with us or in the doobly doop. I don't, some you say that. Anyway, eighth house.
The contract thing here, I feel like there would be like very pure intentions that might go awry here, even more than Venus, because it's like there might be like too much hope in trust in other people. I can see that being a factor here as a downfall or pitfall. But then flip side, you might have great contracts and jovial like partnerships and total agreement amongst things of that kind. But
Yeah,
what do you think?
I noticed with some people in general, you will likely get what you want for the most part. Let's use as like an archetypal example, but there is like this expectancy that was kind of like put in your mind of like they owe me, it's kind of like what they have,
Mm,
I'm deserving of, which can come off as like a superiority complex, not superiority, but like a privilege. It's like a good sense of privilege
hmm
with Jupiter in eighth, where it's I deserve this. This is what's mine. Why haven't you given to me? Oh, you never thought that I would want this? That's fucked up of you. Like, what the fuck? Give it to me.
Totally.
I deserve this.
To-
So yeah, there's like a slight privilege mindset. There's like a general expectancy in the other person to like provide to you that can be a problem, and that it is a dark house after all.
and
So,
like maybe you just have like a lot of taxes or like
right.
a nice tax man. You have like a very nice tax man that does your taxes very well and
Or like,
justly.
yeah, or like a good divorce settlement at some point, or
Yeah.
like a good like uh winning, someone died, gave you something.
Yeah,
There's a lot that there's like but things like that essentially because like there's always a bad that comes with a good because it's the eighth house. It's like a give or
it's so
take.
true. It's so true. Even when I'm doing their chart reading, I see like a benefic in one of the bad places. I'm like, well, of course it's like that sucks, but like it's also just kind of like one of the benefics. It's like you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's not like a malefic in the bad places,
Right.
wreaking havoc. But anyway, Jupiter in the ninth.
Ninth house. I'll be having this transit soon
This will be
next
fun
year,
for
which I'm
you.
looking forward to. Looking forward to it. General Jupiter's joy, general sense of having the freedom to express your ideologies onto the
Mm-hmm.
world.
Yeah.
That's a
And
general
travel,
vibe.
even like travel around to spread the good word of philosophy and truth and everything else that ideology, everything like that. I always think of Mecca, people traveling to Mecca and like it would be like this like one and done big trip that you'd do. And like that always like reminds me of like Jupiter in the ninth.
Hmm. Would you say this is like the were those people that would like spread religion where they go from city
Yeah,
to city? You know what that's called? Blanking.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm blanking
One of
too,
those
but
people.
yeah.
Potential know-it-all too.
Potential like soapboxer standing
Oh
upon
yeah.
it, 10th too for this. But the 10th versus ninth, the 10th is going to be like probably more well known for like being good,
Mm,
like jovial, like the identity wrapped at the jovial meaning like a really good person,
yeah. Too much good could be
godly.
bad. Like I picture like ninth house Jupiter, like the asshole that like constantly tells you to like think positive, like love and light
Oh
type of
yeah,
person. But also like
1000%. That's when I quit
no.
my job. I had
Uh,
Jupiter in the ninth, Jupiter in my
uh,
Aries ninth, and I quit my love and light bullshit metaphysical job.
wow.
It's like,
Impressive.
enough of this. This is not truth.
So Jupiter in the 10th, like you were alluding to.
Oh yes, Jupiter in the 10th, I feel like is the person like the Pope, the hat, the crown. Not like in a solar sense, though they can be adjacent, I think. Jupiter and Sun. But there is like a humble quietness to Jupiter that the solar um that the sun lacks. There's
Yeah,
more
there's a general
wisdom.
blessing with the 10th.
Yeah.
Like it's better to have Jupiter in the 10th than not for the most part.
Yeah, definitely. Success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which maybe it's not the time to riff, but like just a general note I want to make is like I love the subjectivity of astrology, but it's so interesting. And I know this is like the third podcast episode I brought it up that I wanted to do, but like the concept of like things just inherently being good or inherently being bad that Hellenistic astrology brings to the table is like so interesting because we can riff off 1,000 people who have Jupiter in the 10th, and it's like, oh my God, like they were like a cult leader. You know, like holy shit. Like,
It's so true.
wow. And they used to like rape and it's like it's so like
Yep.
subjective, to the condition and everything, which obviously I'm oversimplifying, but yeah, so it is in general a beautiful thing to have Jupiter in the 10th because it's like you're probably known, you're probably famous to some component. Like what you
But
do is
you can be famous for bad things in abundance, like to your
yeah.
point, though. It is complex. Astrology is not black and
Which you
white.
think is good. You might actually think that's good.
Yeah, yeah. And also there's also that component of like, oh, I have Jupiter and Taurus in the 10th and oh, my life is so hard. It's like, you don't know that your life is so not hard. There's an
Right.
arrogance there. And
Ooh,
yeah.
I see those are the talk. These are the talks I love to have. That's so true.
Yeah.
Good point. Jupiter in the 11th.
The the audience that the preacher preaches to, the followers of the cult leader.
Yeah. We gotta do a mystery chart
No,
soon. We didn't post a
I
mystery chart
know.
yet.
We really need to. Those are fun. So
Yeah.
much
Honestly,
fun.
what you said is like very straightforward. It's exactly
You
that.
have a massive audience potentially, or are part of one in some capacity. Maybe there's a
Mhm.
religious bend to it. Maybe there's a charitable bend to it. Maybe there's a just an overall wisdom bend to whatever your interests are that gather you in these spaces. Yeah.
Jupiter in the 12th. I see this as like a placement that has so much good to bring, but might not know how to do it, or might feel victim to what the world has and or themselves and like what they could bring is such goodness. But there's like this hidden quality to it with the 12th. So it's like a repression of the good for a reason. Like there's a reason why you're repressing faith. There's a reason why you might not you feel contained in your ability to be abundant in Jupiterian ways. So there's a 12th house I always consider like like a pushing down and the repression
Yeah.
of which leads to hidden quality. So whatever good that is in your life, a lot of it has to do with like potentiality of what could be brought, which depending on the life, we'll see like if that is possible with a 12th or if the life is just that's part of the life story where it's like the goodness is very private and that's part of the story.
Yeah, I think of this as a really interesting placement, and it's one that I've had a hard time because people that are really close to me do have, and it's something that I struggle to explain, but it's sort of like I feel like these people benefit from Jupiter practices like in solidarity, like or solitary like states. So like mantra practice, like just very regular jovial practices, but in private, whether that's meditation, mantras, you know, things that we don't really know about as the person close to them or something. There's just a privateness there,
Yeah, which
which
something
largely
important.
benefits them solely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is important to note because Jupiterian things don't like the benefic stuff, like it doesn't have to be outwardly expressive. You can have like
Yeah.
such an amazing life and like that could be due to like your private spiritual practice with Jupiter there.
Absolutely. There's such a humbleness with Jupiter too. It's not flashy always. Like it can be if, depending on sign and what have you, but it is like very much like being okay, like with all the things that work. for you, and that alone, like you don't need to post on social media about it. You don't need to preach about it. You just are like it's very like minimal at the end of the day, honestly. Um, yeah,
Yeah, and that peace it brings too. Yeah, it's well said.
peace. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. All
All
right.
right.
This was wonderful. Thank you for joining me, James. This was great.
Thank you for joining me as well, Sam.
You're welcome. Where can we find more about you?
You can go to jamespipitone.com, or I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, experienceofastrology.com, but either way, James Pipitone, the link will be below, whatever it
We
is.
will, yes, we will leave links down below.
You can follow me on social media, James_Pipitone, if you want to book a reading with me. And Sam, what about you?
I'm most readily available at samanthahammerastrology.com. I'm on YouTube under Traditional Astrology Podcast. Um, Instagram, samanthahammerastrology.com or .com, listen to me, Samantha Hammer Astrology. We'll leave links down below. But thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you guys soon.
See ya. Bye bye.
Bye.